Welcome back to the Gunner's Guru. We're discussing the importance of where should I buy my firearm, or why is it important where I buy my gun. We've talked about the number one rule of our decision that we make into where we're going to buy a firearm. The number one rule was buy that firearm where you can get the right kind of help and information to allow you to make a wise decision. That's the number one rule. The number two rule is this, and I'm going to say this, and there'll probably be a lot of people that don't agree with this. And those people probably are purchasing based on the point that I made in the first section of this discussion. And they're making their decisions based more on price than anything else. I would say that the number two rule is this: buy local. What do you mean by buy local? I mean buy that somewhere in your community. Why is that important? It's important to me that when we buy our firearms, that we support our local firearms dealer. We go to our local gun shop, and that's where we purchase from. Why is that important? A couple things. Number one, it helps your community. There are people that are business owners that have maybe, and for me, locally, we have a firearms store that's been in business for 75 years. 75 years, a local firearms store. A lot of competition around. There's a Sportsman's Warehouse within 200 or 300 yards of this firearms dealer. Still yet, 75 years, that local, family-owned firearms dealer is still there, helping people make the decision to buy that firearm and buy the right firearm. So it helps your community. It helps that business owner to keep their business open. It helps those employees that are working for that business owner to maintain their employment and take care of their families. Secondly, it's a thing that builds trust. It helps us build trust. It's like when we watch that TV show Cheers. I'm sure a lot of us remember watching the show Cheers, and when the man with the brown curly hair and the sports jacket will walk in, everybody in that bar that was known as Cheers on the TV show, they'd yell out his name, Norm. We all remember that. And that's something that you can get in a local, family-owned and operated firearms store. It's a relationship. It's more than just that's where I go to get my gun and get my ammunition, and I'm out of there and I'm never going back there. No, you can develop a relationship and build trust in that person that's behind the counter, and then ultimately that business owner, and the big picture is in that business itself. You can have a rapport with the business owner, and that salesperson or that employee that's there. You can trust them. It's not just something that they're just not feeding you a line because, well, if I sell this, I'm going to get a $20 bill in my pocket. That's not why they're there. I've personally worked in a firearms store for 22 years. 22 years I helped people make proper and wise decisions on which firearm was correct for their need and for that moment in their life. And it was never my goal to make a sale. It was always my goal to help them make the best decision they could make to satisfy the need that they presented to me as their salesperson. Helps us build that relationship and that trust. Thirdly, we can talk about follow-up service. There's something to be said for online shopping, and we all do it. Who that's watching this does not have an Amazon.com account? Who does not have a Walmart.com account? Who has not shopped online at Kohl's.com and was so happy because they got $10 in Kohl's cash with their purchase? And those things are fine and they're all wonderful in their own ways. But when it comes to purchasing a firearm, I would highly recommend against the idea of buying a gun via the internet. And the biggest reason is, how are you going to deal with an issue that you may have down the road with that firearm? What what kind of follow-up service are you going to get? If I buy, let's say I buy my Subaru that we talked about, I buy that from a used car dealership that's in Michigan, and they ship it, and this is not uncommon these days. They ship the car for $239 to my driveway. I never have even looked at it. It arrives, it's a great car, I'm super happy with it, but 6 months down the road, one of the suspension parts breaks when I hit a pothole here in Western Pennsylvania, and now what am I going to do? I'm going to find somewhere to take it to get it worked on, because I sure as shooting can't go back to the used car dealership that may not even be in business anymore. That's in Michigan, that they shipped my Subaru to my driveway for me. Do you get my point? So that follow-up service, if I go into my local firearm store and I make a purchase of my Glock pistol, my SIG pistol, my AR-15, my Mossberg shotgun, whatever it is, I am confident that I have somewhere I can go back to when the safety of my Mossberg shotgun starts to malfunction, or I have an issue with, well, I've practiced shooting over and over, and I've been to classes, I'm confident in my shooting ability, but my SIG pistol, it's very consistently hitting 6 inches to the left at 25 feet. I can go back to that local firearm store, and there's someone behind the counter that can help me resolve that issue, because now I've developed a trusting relationship and a rapport with them, and they will stand behind their product normally 9 times out of 10. They're going to stand behind the product that they sold me, and they see me as not just another number, not just an order confirmation on the internet, but they see me as someone that's almost like family. That's the kind of follow-up service that we can get in our local firearm store.